we have another 80. Third month, we have another 80, and so on. Now, the 24th month, he deposits it on the first day, and we want to know the value at the end of the 24th month. So there's the 24th month here. So he puts in another 80, and then this is the point where we want to know the value at the end of the 24th month. And it says this because the question asks us, how much will he have in his account at the end of the 24 months? So that last $80 compounds once. So each one of these is going to compound. So the last payment, so the total value, let's call this T, the last payment of $80 is going to compound by 0.5% because it's 6% divided by 12. That's the monthly compounding. So it's 1 plus 0.005 to the 1. It compounded once. Now the 23rd payment here, it gets to compound twice. So then we have 80 times 1 plus 0.005 to the 2, plus, and so on. Now, if we count all of these backwards, 24 is 1, 23 is 2, dot, 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 all the way down. 1 should be 24, 2 should be 23, and 3 should be 22. So the highest power term is going to be 24. It's going to be the first 80 that compounded a whole bunch of times, compounded 24 times, in fact. So the last term is 80 times 1 plus 0.005 to the 24. Now, all of these have an 80 in them, so we could factor the 80 out the front, and we get the total is 80 times 1.005 to the 1 plus dot 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 plus all the way up to 1.005 to the 24. Now this is a geometric progression, right? Each term is being multiplied by 1.005 to get the next term. So if we can simplify the sum of geometric terms here, then we can find an evaluation for this, multiply it by 80, and that's going to give us the total. So the first term, which we will call A, is 1.005. The ratio, which we'll call R, is also 1.005. The number of terms here, 1 up to 24, is 24. So n should be 24. When you're doing this, make sure you count those terms, right? If you need to sit there and actually count out how many payments there are, do it. Sometimes that n value is up or down 1 from what you expect it to be. Here it's 24, but it's not always going to be exactly the number of periods. It could be 1 up, could be 1 down, depending on the question. So we have the sum of n terms is the first term times r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1. So we get 1.005 times 1.005 to the 24 minus 1 over 1.005 minus 1, which is 0.005. So this means Sn, the sum of those 24 terms, is, I'll put this in my calculator. Make sure you input this correctly into the calculator because the output is quite long, longer than the calculator screen. So you always want to check that this is right when you're doing your exams because you can very easily miss a 0 or miss a 1, something like that. Calculator tells me 25.5591115 ... So this implies that the total will be 80 times 25.5591, just round it to 4 decimal places here. 80 times 25.5591. That is 2044.728. So therefore the total amount is going to be $2,044.73 to 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places is the correct rounding because this is dollars and cents. So unless you're told to the nearest dollar, whenever money is involved, dollars and cents is the appropriate rounding. So this is part 1, part A. Now, part B tells us table of future value interest factors could have been used to calculate how much you'd have. Part of the table is shown. What is the value of A in the table? Okay, so the value of A in the table is going to be the sum of n terms in this case. Because when you use a table of values, you need to multiply the value in that table by the number of dollars in the annuity. So there are $80, so you've got to multiply that number by 80 to get the total. Well, we multiplied the sum of terms by 80 to get the total. So this means A must be equal to 25.559115 dot dot dot, because that's the multiplication factor, right? That's the factor required to get the total. So that's the value, 3 decimal places. It's going to be 25.559 bracket 3 dp. Now notice this is a unitless number. It is not in terms of dollars or cents or anything like that. It's just a multiplication factor. It's a financial scaling factor. And this is the end of question 24.